12-6, counting outcomes. In this lesson, we're going to look at two ways of figuring out how many possible ways something can happen. For example, you can see in blue we have ham, turkey, PB&J, and then wheat and white. We're going to be looking at how many different types of sandwiches can be made using the three fillings, ham, turkey, peanut butter, and jelly, and then the two different kinds of breads, wheat and white. There are two ways to figure this out. One way will allow us to figure out and see each possible combination. That's what we're going to do first. And we're going to use something called a tree diagram to list all the possible outcomes. So in red we have H, T, and PB&J. H being ham, T being turkey, and PB&J obviously peanut butter and jelly. So our ham sandwich can either be put on wheat or white bread. Our turkey sandwich can be on wheat or white bread, and our peanut butter and jelly sandwich can be put on wheat or white bread. And now we can see we have various different, as you can see, we have various different combinations of types of sandwiches. We went from having three possible choices, ham, turkey, and peanut butter and jelly, to now we have 6 different sandwiches that we could eat. Ham on white, ham on wheat, turkey on white, turkey on wheat, so on and so forth. Now, if you see over here, we're going to add, as you can see, we're going to add a little bit to this. This time we're going to add possible condiments. You can have mustard or mayonnaise on your sandwich. So we can take the wheat bread stem from the tree and add mustard and mayo. And we can do that for that one as well. And we continue all the way across. Now, I recognize that most people would not choose to have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on wheat bread with either mustard or mayo, and the same people would probably not choose to have mustard or mayonnaise on a peanut butter and jelly on white bread either. Now, these are legitimate choices. You might be asked, what type of filling do you want in red? The next question you might be asked, what type of bread do you want? And the third question, the answers are in green. What type of condiment do you want, mustard or mayonnaise? Now, to quickly address the peanut butter and jelly with mustard and mayonnaise, this happens, it occurs infrequently, although it does occur. If you're in the cafeteria hanging out with your friends and someone drops a couple of quarters on the table and says, I dare you to have your peanut butter and jelly on wheat with some mustard, yes, then it becomes a viable choice. But it's not a normal combination, although when looking at choices and counting outcomes like this in math, it is a possible choice. So we have various different quantities and qualities to look at. We could continue and we could say, okay, now we're going to package these up like you're going on a field trip. You can have a choice of 3 fillings. You have a choice of 2 breads. We also offer a choice of 2 snacks, as well as a choice of 2 drinks. So our tree diagram is going to get cluttered very quickly. However, a tree diagram is a nice way of showing all the possible outcomes. Sometimes we're just interested in the number of outcomes that are going to happen. And we're going to use something called the fundamental counting principle. And that simply is you're going to multiply the number of possible choices together to get the number of possible outcomes. This method tells you how many possible choices there are. It doesn't list them for you, it just tells you the number. So on the next slide, we have the fillings times the bread times the condiments times the snacks and the drinks. So we originally had 3 fillings. We had 2 breads. We had 2 condiments. And then finally we talked about having a choice of 2 snacks and 2 drinks that we did not put on the tree diagram, but we could have had them. So now, using the fundamental counting principle, you're simply going to multiply these numbers together. 3 times 2 is 6, times 2 is 12, times 2 is 24, times 2 is 48. There are 48 different possible sandwiches to be made using 3 fillings, 2 breads, 2 condiments, 2 snacks, and 2 drinks. 48 different ways for you to make your lunch. Your homework today is on page 638, problems 10 through 38, all of them.